radio thing, this lags by like a minute. How do you like these silent pre-lives, Greg?
I don't know. How are you?
Keep it silent, right?
Yeah. But
Here we go.
we're getting ready to go.
Time to run it. Let's run this, guys.
Good morning, guys. We're getting ready. So we should talk for our early listeners. That anybody that comes on, so we look like we're involved and active. When does it go?
Through Friday, 7 a.m., you know what time it is, right? It's Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. Greg and Evan, we on the air, let's go. Got them Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. So hit the line, 85, 6, 44, 6, 88, 73. Hey, it's Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. Greg and Evan, we on the air, let's go. Got them Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. So hit the line, 85, 6, 44, 6, 88, 73. Hey. It's Friday, it's a free for all. Hey, so text the line or you can give us a call. If you got questions, we gon' answer them all. Everything turf, if you into the green, get involved. From mowers to the equipment, business strategy and the business, how to run a successful business, everything lawn and landscaping, the whole industry. Let's get to it. It's Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. Greg and Evan, we on the air, let's go. Got them Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. So hit the line, 85, 6, 44, 6, 88, 73. Hey, it's Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. Greg and Evan, we on the air, let's go. Got them Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. So hit the line, 85, 6, 44, 6, 88, 73. It's Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. Greg and Evan, we on the air, let's go. Got them Turf Nerds on Turf's Up Radio. So hit the line, 85, 6, 44, 6, 88, 73.
Glad to have you aboard on this last Friday in February, Greg, isn't it?
It is the last Friday. I didn't realize that. So, what are we going to do with ourselves now?
Celebrate, because that's one day closer to spring, one day closer out of February, one day closer where we don't have to deal with snow. I mean, isn't it true we might be getting some snow this upcoming week?
Yeah, we're supposed to get rain and snow. Last I knew. Of course, no telling with Michigan here.
No,
So,
it's generally
actually,
speaking, yeah.
We're showing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
After you, darling.
Snow supposedly Saturday, Sunday. That came out of nowhere.
Huh.
Tuesday, Wednesday, snow. Thursday, rain. Friday, Saturday, snow. Sunday, rain. So it's.
That sounds fun, doesn't it?
It's like a confused date.
This is good for people salting here. Saturday, 10:30 p.m., some snow here. It'd be in the mid-50s. Isn't that going to be the mid? Okay, for a chilly start in the 20s, lower 30s early Friday morning. Southwest winds will help boost afternoon highs into lower mid-50s, guys. That'll help perk up the grass there a bit, but it's got to stay consistent because you keep getting these freezing nights, and it forget the grass perking up. But the couple days, warm days we had last week, Greg, I felt like the grass woke up a bit.
Yeah, it's just it's got to be hard for the flowers, and for the trees that bloom. But the fruit trees down in Florida, they got to be just, what the heck is going on? I want to come out, but I can't come out. So I don't know what they're going to be like, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens with our stuff here, because we're showing 50 on Saturday, 25 on Sunday.
It's like, come on, grass. Wake up for us so we can mow, but then that's also, we got the cleanups. I still have 10 cleanups to go because winter came in just like it went surprise. Like when we were trying to get through them, Greg, and then I just sat there and said, okay, well, time to plow. So we got 10 cleanups, got a tear out job that I wanted to do. And then I guess this time around, every year we try to just do something better, guys. I would just try to get the earliest hop on it you possibly can get, because you don't know what old man rain weather is going to do. Because how many times, Greg, I mean, we text every day. Rain hit me again, or Greg gets the rain first, then it comes to me. So the earlier this year might be the better because if you try to plan it out too much and keep it more routine, you won't win.
Yeah, it's just trying to figure out the weather. And I don't think I ever am. I remember the one time I got caught in a hurricane. It was bad. And I was in halfway through a lawn that's out of my way. It was the last lawn for me to cut in that neighborhood, and I tried to fight through it and get it done. And the next day, the guy called me and said, "Yeah, can you come out and cut again?" So I still had to go back and cut. So actually, I didn't think it was that bad. I just had to clean it up because it basically was so wet. All I did was mash stuff down. So,
Yeah, there's a proper way to line blow the lawns. So like when we stripe, the grass bends certain ways. Then you have guys that work for you and they will actually push the grass back up. So it looks like you didn't even cut it. You ever experienced that? I mean, it drives me nuts because technically speaking, your front caster tires run over stuff first. Then the deck was supposed to suck everything up. But there's mowers, they don't cut all the grass.
no, they don't. And then once in a while, you'll get that point where you get that the mohawk. You ever
Oh,
see
yeah,
that
all
in
the
the
time.
middle of your lawn? That just kills me. when I
Mohawk
see
lawn,
that.
right?
Yeah, and it's intermittent, and you think, okay, I got something in my deck. I can't, my deck's dirty. I better go under and clean. You go under there, and there's nothing there, and you just can't figure out why you're getting a mohawk. So,
Speaking of mohawks, do you have a mohawk? No, I was kidding. 856-446-8873. We got open lines. It's free for all Friday. Greg, these are fun. This is more of the days where we we have even more fun and anything goes in the green industry, right?
yes, it does. I'm just trying to figure out how mohawks. Speaking of mohawks, and then given our phone number, correlates.
Do you have a mohawk? They're 856-446-8873.
Speaking of mohawks, call this number.
This is radio. This is what makes it fun, Greg. But you've been on the journey. You've been painting. It's just one thing that you do in the off season. So, how's this paint job? Another update. How's that been going?
Finished it yesterday. It took me. I'm not a fast painter. I'm a slow painter, and yeah, but there were spots I had to prep. They had some stress cracks that I had to go in and try and take care of, and it's just the prep time takes a long time. So so you have to mud it, and you got to sand it, and you got to put another coat on it. So it just took a little while, and fortunately I got it done. And I thought I was going to be done Wednesday, and it took me till yesterday to get it done. So
It's kind of how it works
Thursday.
with jobs, right? But this is an acquired skill that you work in the off season. And we're always lawn guys, depending on where you live, we kind of twiddle our thumbs here, guys, try to figure out what to do in the winter. Mine was being door dashing and then also kind of working on some social media. But I was driving I've been driving for DoorDash in the off season, just kind of passively here and there for about 5 years now. And I was also trying out Walmart Spark. Talk about organizational skills, Greg, when you have like 50 bags of groceries in your truck, and I'm just sitting there shaking my head. Oh, I just stick to cutting the grass and doing more something like a single track thing. Because I mean, sure, we can get disorganization in our business, but when I didn't like coming up to the door with 50 bags of groceries. So this is not my line of work.
That would be hard. And then so you'd have to go out and buy yourself a bunch of laundry baskets to keep everything in their proper space, so that you don't give the wrong thing to the wrong person. So, give the pregnancy test to the 75-year-old guy who wanted his groceries.
Oh, goodness sakes. That's hilarious. But we're also having today, so baby could be due any time now. So I'm just kind of been hanging out here at home in a lot of prayer right now. We're having one of my buddies, Devin, come over and detail the van. I might have him detail the truck, though, too. I mean, I've had clients notice, because I've talked to clients with the door open, and they say, man, your truck looks really nice. And I think for the most part, that speaks volumes. Hey, this guy cares to keep his organization like stuff clean.
Mm-hmm. That's your office. So
What is
if
it,
you
the
think
mobile
about
garage? Don't we have mobile garages now, Greg?
it. Who, us or other people? Yeah,
Us,
the
anyone
mobile
who has an
mechanics.
enclosed trailer, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, you just had that thing prepped before you went down to. You had it detailed before you went down to Expo.
I did. I had it prepped before the expo, but I think it's time through the winter of getting in and out of the truck. I didn't really have much salt in my truck, but just all of the slush and stuff. And I was kind of irritated the other day. I power washed off the truck at the power wash place, made it look nice, Greg. Oh, the next day, that gray truck looks like a
Here, Turfs Up Radio Studio.
Turfs Up Radio. You're on the air.
Hey, it's Cousin Kenny.
Hey,
What's going on,
What y'all
Kenny?
doing today? It's a free for all Friday.
hey, drop us some lawn care knowledge here, Kenny.
Well, we got rain. Now my grass looks green, and we're looking at some good weather. But I'm not going to be here. I'm leaving tomorrow. But I sent you guys some information about the grass we were talking about yesterday. It's called Bahia grass.
Bahia. Yes, I'm
Bahia.
sure Eric. I mean, we should have asked Eric Jones about that, Greg, shouldn't we? With keeping up with the Joneses, he probably knows
Yeah.
that grass.
Bahia.
It's prevalent in South America, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, that area. And I kind of know that area. So
Mhm.
it's kind of similar to the grass that they have in parts of Florida. And if it's not Bermuda, it's that usually. And it's a very weather resistant grass. And, but it's very, very prevalent down there. Very prevalent. So,
Kenny's
I looked that
reporting
up.
for us.
I sent you some information about it, the history of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a whole show on that, Greg, right?
Yeah, I did have to laugh though, Kenny, because you sent it and said it's pronounced, and then you spelled it the way it was spelled, and I'm thinking that still doesn't tell me how to pronounce it. It's just
That's usually how it
I thought I
goes.
sent you the pronunciation Bahia. It means bay.
means
You want to sound smart here in the industry, Greg. Half the time is being able to pronounce some words correctly. I have not pronounced always things the correct way when I've been talking to clients.
that's like when you're reading in the Bible some of the names that they'll say in there. If you're not sure how to say them, just say them quickly, and nobody will question it.
Yep.
So I
That's
was
how it
kinda, when you come across Nebuchadnezzar, that one's pretty easy, but that's the only one I could think of off the top of my head. it's just funny. But yeah, thanks, Kenny, for sending that information over to us. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Have a good trip when you go.
Good luck with the baby coming, Evan.
Oh yeah, baby's coming soon, and I'll be dad. We'll do as many live shows as we can. If not, then we're gonna just replay some old classic Blade Sharp. We have a whole bunch of good content. But Kenny, thanks for being out there in the field and reporting. So I mean, how
Our
about that,
on-field-
Greg?
On-field reporter.
Yeah, he had to go. So how about that? He's on the field telling us about the Bahia grass. See, I still can't even say it.
Bahia. That's what he said. Bahia, I think.
I wanted to update you guys though, Greg. So I have the 9010T and have the EBZ 9000. In the last event I did 2 days ago, where I had to go out shovel one of the commercial walks or my first commercial site because you can't make noise until 7 a.m. So I shoveled that. But then the other building that's next to it, the lawyer's office, I take the backpack blower or the plow. So you told me to switch from the EBZ 9000 to the 9010T, Greg, which has been great because the EBZ 9000 was having a really hard time starting up even after they did the update and after they gave me a new one in the really bitterly cold temperatures. Like I think it was negative 10 degrees out there, and I just kept firing up for about 5 minutes there on the street, and I was just getting sick of it. So I switched on over to the 9010T. I've been having some funky problems with it the past, I'd say, year and a half, almost 2 years. After it runs fine for a while, and then it'll sometimes start slipping RPM. So I had to blow off the whole lawyer's office with like half throttle, and then I used it the other day, and it was much better. It wasn't perfect. That could be, I think, maybe a carburetor jet issue. I'm not sure. I mean, you guys ever had any problems? What are your problems with your blowers? 856-446-8873. It's been a reliable blower. I think that in some respects, the 9010T is a lot more reliable than the EBZ 9000. Hot take.
How old is yours? That 9010, do you know?
It's got to be at least 4 years old.
Okay. Did you try and put any seafoam or mechanic in a bottle from our friends at B3C?
No, the only thing I put in there was stable here and there. I might try some carb cleaner. I think the carburetor might be gunked up, or just go on there and buy a new carburetor. But those carburetors, Greg, they're not cheap. I think I wanted to replace a carburetor on an old Red Max trimmer, Greg, and it was $180 to replace the carburetor, and I didn't do it. I said, "You got to be kidding me."
Now so yeah, it's sometimes $180 on a Red Max trimmer. Is that what you said?
Yeah, on a Red Max trimmer to replace that carburetor was $180.
$180. You can buy a new one for $300. And
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, it's kind of like what I was dumb when I my washer, when the motor went out on my washer. I thought it was the motor, and replaced it. And it was a 30-year-old washing machine, and I thought, well, I get a few more years out of it. And if I replace the motor, and come to find out, it wasn't the motor; it was the trans. Although the motor was bad, but the trans was bad as well. So, unfortunately, I spent $100 on it, and I bought a brand new one for $400. So
Well, I'm just looking on here though. The 9010T carburetor, it fluctuates anywhere from $82, $75 to $97 to $70. That's kind of high. I mean, I didn't know carburetors were always priced like that, and I can take them apart. Be careful when you put them back together, Greg. I've put the carbs back together, and if you don't put the gaskets on the right way, let's just say it won't work. I wasted hours one day trying to figure that out, and I actually brought it up to Winegard's. They basically said, "You moron, you were putting the gaskets on the wrong way." I said, "No, I wasn't." I said, "No."
did they show you the right way, or did you just?
Kind of. They had fixed it though, but I'm surprised that they're this expensive. You know, the EB. Okay, so to pivot to the Red Max EBZ 9000, which here we got our low throttle. Man, who brought a blower in my basement? Anyways, this carburetor is $270. That's crazy. I mean, because it's the I guess the auto tune. That's what they use in the chainsaws too. Wasn't that fascinating, Greg? That apparently they've used the auto tune technology in the carburetors first in the chainsaws. Like it's kind of a new thing.
It is kind of interesting that I wonder what it was that I guess probably the chainsaws, because they're going to be used all season.
Yeah.
In particular, like if you have an oak tree, you're not supposed to cut an oak tree in the spring or in the summer. It's supposed to be below 50 degrees for at least a week before you can cut an oak tree. So, excuse me, that means that they wanted to try it out on that first, and they thought, well, why not use it on the blower as well? So.
Yeah, because we had interviewed Jack Easterly. I think he was the product manager of Husqvarna at the Expo 2 years ago, and that's when they debuted the EBZ 9000. I got mine for $800. I think they're $900 now. Didn't you get a deal on yours though? Like that?
I got a really good deal on mine.
Yeah,
they had some special going, and I paid. I think out the door is about $700. So they just had. I think it was a 20% off or 30% off sale going, and so out the door it was right about $700. So. Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't.
What do you guys think about it? The EBZ 9000, 856, 446. What are the last four, Greg?
The last four, 8873.
I almost had to quiz you. Here, let's wait. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire here. What is the phone number for Turf's Up Radio? But no, seriously though, guys, what's your opinion in trials with the EBZ 9000? Because Greg, we haven't been all that impressed, have we?
No, I did notice that it did blow the snow pretty well when it wasn't really cold out. But once I noticed it started getting colder, then it just didn't work as well. So I just ran it dry, flushed it out, and put it away for the winter. And then it did blow piles of leaves better. I thought that. Not a huge difference, I didn't think, between that and the 9010. It's just... I think it's just because it's a narrower opening.
Yeah.
And so that allows a little bit more, I guess, a little more wind pressure or allows it to come out a little bit better, a little stronger because it's a narrower opening. And but I don't notice that much of a difference on it. If I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, looking back at it, because I think they're updating the Echo 9010T. Shout out to our buddy Ron Coleman. He's part of the Echo UAG. He's been with them for a couple years now. Ron's an awesome guy. here in this industry, guys. He's got a YouTube channel, guys. Check it out, Greenscapes Ohio. I think he's got about 11,000 subs. He'll post a whole bunch of stuff, but he said they're updating the 9010T, and I always loved the 9010T at the end of the tube. I love that metal shroud. I felt like that really protected your tube, but then yet again, when you blow, when you use the 9010T, so trigger, and I can blow on my multi-force and like move around. I've hopped over some stuff, Greg, and I haven't been paying attention. I've ran over, I think I ran over at least 3 blower tubes.
Oh, I've got 2 of my Echoes. You know, it's got that metal piece on the end, like you said. 2 of my Echo blowers have bent front tips, just because I didn't realize I'd run them over, and so that was a little disappointing. I actually sold one of them. So, and but yeah, it just caught. What did I do? I had it on when I was backing up on my mower, and I didn't realize it got caught under the wheel. It flipped the opposite way, because normally I have it going forward, and somehow it got toward the back of the wheel, and it got caught underneath. So luckily it didn't push me right off. So, but yeah, oh well. So it just bent it a little bit.
I've tried to preserve some of my 9010T tubes after I've ran them over. I've sat there for about 20 minutes trying to fix them. I said, okay, I'm just going to go buy another one online. And then, yeah, so you have that, and the 9010T, and then you have the EBZ 9000, Greg. There's no metal shroud on there, is there?
No, it actually, it's actually pretty good. That's one of the advantages of it. And I think I ran that over one time, and it popped back, so it worked. So the tube is not as long either. I don't know if you've really noticed that. It's the tube is about 6 inches shorter than the 9010.
Yeah, I could do some blower science there. Yeah, I noticed that tube was a little shorter, and I think would that help with, I guess,
The
blowing
compression.
force like off the tube?
I think it might. So I think it does a little bit. I'm not sure. So it just doesn't have to go out, doesn't have to work its way down that extra 6 inches or so. So it just makes it, allows for a little bit more compression or air force. So.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. But looking back at it, I mean, so I bought the EBZ 9000 in the summer of 2024, used it through the expo, and then when I got home through the expo, it started giving me problems, Greg. I think I was texting you all the time, and it was like a tad below freezing, and it just started to take a dump on me. Like, it just didn't work. So I brought it up to Weingarts, and they took it in, and praise God, Husqvarna guys, they stood by their product there, which is nice. I mean, you like companies that actually stand by it, and they won't give you crud, right?
Yeah, that was good of them to be able to do that. I took mine in, my EBZ in, because it just wasn't running right. And I found out that they said, what fuel are you using? What oil are you using? And I told them.
Tell them about that.
They said, yeah, don't throw that stuff out. And I think, well, you guys sell it. And they said,
we can say it. What was it?
What is it? The Opti 2?
Yeah, it was the Opti 2. I think it destroyed my blower.
They they said, and when I asked him, I said, well, what do you sell it for? He said, we just sell it for residential. I don't tell anybody to buy it commercially. Any of my commercial guys, I tell them to put it away. So, and apparently, in particular on the 9010, it does not work well. And it actually, I believe, can damage your blower because it doesn't because it blows so hot. This one doesn't cool enough. So that's one of the things that you got to be careful of with it. Don't use Opti 10 guys in your equipment, and even the Echo people, they told my dealer, don't use Opti 2 in your blower in that 9010, and it's not good for it. So. But they said, the other oils you can use, and that works fine. So I just go ahead and use that. So, but unfortunately, I had bought a gallon of it. So if anybody wants some of my Opti 2, you can have it. But I think
you can give it away. There, you want to do a giveaway on Turf Stop Radio. It's interesting though. The Echo PB 9010T, the CFM is about 1110 at the nozzle, and the Redmax EBZ 9000 is about 1245. The Redmax has 135 more, I guess, airflow at the nozzle, which I don't know if that's always the best, depending on what situations you're in, is it?
I guess it depends. Remember I guess you have a little bit more potential for control. But so at your idle speed, is it still coming out faster? I'm kind of curious about that. I would think that it's coming out faster at idle than if it's apples to apples. Then your idle speed on your 9010 would be whatever it is, and then your idle speed technically, if it's on your EBZ, your idle speed should be a little bit higher. So sometimes you can't. You know how sometimes you want to go through just at idle, and
Oh, yeah.
idle blow.
Threading the throttle. There's guys that don't know how to do that. I put up a YouTube video, and then someone commented, "You did this cleanup really nicely. You actually threaded the throttle," because some guys just like to run it full throttle the whole entire time. You ever seen that? And they blow rocks and stuff all over these lawns. Or, hey, where did my mulch go? It was gone.
Yeah, yeah. So, but no, you just gotta just be careful with it. And like I said, I paid for it, so I'll use it. But I don't know how thrilled I am with it.
Yeah, I might want to pick up a new 9010T this year because the EBZ 9000 has 56 newtons of blowing force versus the 9010T, which has 48 newtons, which they're saying, I guess, that it can blow a little bit better in the wet leaves, like the newtons and the miles per hour with the CFM, like I guess, or help with wet leaves and stick debris. Yeah, I guess it does work better on the more close quarters area. But that blower is heavy. That's basically like a jetpack, Greg, isn't it? I can actually blow lawns on my Segway. It's funny. You just see this guy rolling down the street going 12 miles an hour with a backpack blower. Some people just shake their heads.
What's funny though is the EBZ is, I think, just a little bit heavier than the 9010, but I don't know if it feels heavier. It's kind of, maybe it's the way they balanced it or something. I'm not sure. But it almost feels like it's a little bit lighter to me. So I don't know why. It just feels, even though it's about a pound heavier, I think.
Yeah,
it
maybe
feels
how it's
lighter.
set up. It's funny on the EBZ 9000, Greg, how it has the like the belt buckle on it, basically. So you have your chest strap, and then there's a belt buckle. And I was kind of making fun of that there for a while.
I do like that chest strap, especially for cleanups. If you're going to be running that thing for a long time, otherwise you're hiking that thing up every few minutes to try and make sure it stays on. So I do like that chest strap that they put on there. That's really nice. I did go out and buy some chest straps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that you could use on your use on your backpacks. So I thought, well, why can't I use this on my blower? So I did buy a couple of those, and they're okay. They kind of bind up a little bit. And you just got to make sure you get them tight enough. So, but it's nice having that backpack, and then that waist thing is on there pretty nice too. So it's not bouncing around on you. So maybe they'll do that with the 9010 as well on the new design.
Well, yeah, I think what they really did with the new design there is they updated the gas tank. They made it bigger. I think they made it easier to turn the engine over. 856-446-8873. Chime on in. We're talking blowers here right now. There's pivoted conversations to blowers, Greg, and we always go back and forth, and we're always trying to analyze different pieces of equipment. I mean, we bounced around with trimmers though too, Greg. I mean, I've used the Red Max trimmers for the longest time. I didn't really have any problems with them. But I've really liked my Shindawa T262 and my Echo 2620. I think they've been reliable trimmers. I think that's where Echo really has it right. And they birthed in the speed feed head, which those heads are great.
Speed feed heads are so nice. They're so much more amenable to speeding yourself up there. And I remember the first, what did I have? The Red Max. That was my first one. And I didn't have the speed head. And then I needed to go in and get a new head for my trimmer. And the guy says, "Here, you get a speed head." He says, "You ever used one of these?" I said, "No, I haven't." He says, "You'll never
What's
go
this?
back." So that speed head is so much easier to work with. I think I saw that didn't Ballard come out with a speed head as well? Don't they have something that they're working
Knowing
on?
him, he probably did. He comes out with anything that he looks at. Raleigh Spencer and I were joking at all the different products that like Ballard would come out. Oh, get the self-cleaning mower deck. It cuts the grass for you by itself and cleans it and cleans too. I mean, let's just say there's some products that are good. Others it's just like a kind of a snake oil, in my opinion. I mean, they stand by them, but I mean, there's some stuff there that's like ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. Well, I did get my new mower lift, and
That was nice.
yeah, that was nice. It'll be a lot better, and it's got little clips on it, and which once when you lift it up, you can lock it in place, so you don't have to technically you don't have to go out and get yourself you don't have to slide jacks under there to make sure it doesn't fall on you because it's got kind of like self-made jacks inside there. So the once it gets up, the hydraulics can't settle down once you lock those in place.
How was it trying to assemble that?
Man, I'm trying to think how long it took me. It well, yeah, it did. I did really well. It probably took me maybe a couple hours, just because I was really taking my time, and
That
I
makes
thought
sense.
I thought I didn't have a cotter pin, and it really irritated me because everything was done except one cotter pin. I couldn't find it, and lo and behold, after I pulled everything out and put everything away, I was going to go up to the hardware to buy a cotter pin to put in place, and I almost missed it. I saw a little shiny piece sitting on the garage floor, and that was it. And it just must have somehow fell out of something. So
Don't you love when
everything came.
you're putting together something, Greg, and you lose one of the pieces of hardware?
Well, that actually happened with that side catcher. The box tore open
Oh yeah, tell him that.
in shipping, and I was missing, man, I can't remember how many washers or nuts that were missing.
So you bought the Ballard side catcher, and we were comparing, Greg, and you said, "Hey, where are all?" You were asking me for the hardware. I said, "Well, here's what he sent me. What did he send you?"
Yeah. But I can't remember how. Somehow the bag inside that was holding the nuts tore open, and then the box. Well, probably what happened where the box was torn. That's right where the bag happened to be sitting, so it caught the bag that had the nuts and washers in it, and so anyway, I wound up having to go up to the store and buy some extra parts, and then there was actually a pin, the pin that it rests on in the on the side of it, that was missing as well, and that was it's pretty much about the most vital part on there, and so I had to call them and say, hey, I didn't get this piece, so they sent it to me, and I was able to because I was going to just try and use a bolt and run it through, and it didn't work, so it was just the way
Being
it was set up.
creative.
Yeah, yeah.
In the side catchers, guys, don't think you have to go out and get the biggest like vacuum to do leaves. Greg, I haven't. Last time I used a big leaf vac was on my Exmark Rider, and then that's been 4 years. And you and I have used the side catch, the Ballard side catch, which that's one good product from them, and it's been fine. I'm able to pack that full of leaves. I modified it so it fits on my Cub Cadet Pro X660 mower, and I had to drill a hole into the side of the lip of the deck, like the top part, and fits right in there. Did a bang up job. I did a really early cleanup 2 years ago. I think it was third week of March. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And I mulched up all the leaves first, and then I sucked them up. And I side catch did a great job. There's still money to be made in it. Sure, I mean you got to price according because you have a crew that could come in there and do it a whole lot faster with a leaf vac or leaf loader. But you can still give that competitive price though too. I mean,
Right.
Solo, I mean, we charge anywhere from, the solo rate, we've done 90 to 125 bucks an hour, and customers haven't really squawked at that, or we just do a $250 minimum. Sometimes just charging the minimums is just a lot better, so people have a general idea of what they're paying.
I've started going minimums and just said, it's going to cost X amount, and I just decided to do it that way, just because if you go to somebody's house and it takes you 45 minutes to do a cleanup, you spent all that time going there, and especially if it was a long way away, and then you make $100 or something. So I just said, no, I got to do a minimum. But when you tell people, hey, my minimum is $150 or $200, they don't usually balk at it. So because you're running equipment and it's fuel
and we've debated different and better ways to be marketable and to sell our services, right? I mean, we've gone back and forth. I've tried all different prices with aerations. I think what it all boils down to is really reaching out, being personable, and trying to educate them. Like, know your product. I listened to a lecture by Eric Jones. This is from 13 years ago. He was teaching on irrigation, Greg, and really what he was talking about being marketable, and even with like irrigation, it's like you have to know your product, sell the products to people, so they sound like so we sound like we're smart, and they sound like they've been educated.
And it makes them feel good because they understand it, and then they can, hopefully they'll tell somebody, and they'll tell a neighbor, hey, Greg was telling me about this. So now you educated your client, and they're going to go out and educate somebody else, and they look good because they're saying, hey, this is what Evan said.
Oh,
And,
thanks.
Yeah. I was going to give myself credit, but I thought,
Oh, go
I'll
ahead. You can just
pretend and give it to Evan.
Greg credit.
Hello, this is Greg.
Yeah, but I was talking to Evan, and he said this is probably the way you should do it instead. And it's like watering at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. That's when you water. You don't water in the middle of the day because it's just going to dry up. So, you want all your water to seep in, and so that's important. And
Let's seep in here with a word from our sponsors.
Lawn and Landscape Pros, are you ready to run your business instead of it running you? Then it's time to join the Profit Circle. Led by Wayne the Profit Voles, this business coaching group helps you grow and profit by mastering the real stuff: selling, marketing, advertising, cost calculation, bidding, contracts, customer and employee relationships, scaling your business, and more. If you're ready to become more profitable and more successful, joining is easy. Just head to profitsrs.com, that's profits, AREUS.com, and click the Join the Profit Circle button right on the home page. Because remember, profit is not a dirty word.
Shame on you, Greg, for making profit. I like how some of these clients, Greg, they're like, you're just doing this to make more money off of me. So no, I'm not. I can't keep up with anything.
Yeah, but hopefully you've educated them enough that they don't think you're just trying to go out there and take advantage of them. And so if you're educating them and you come across and you're showing that your sincerity, then that should be good for you. So it's
And
just
that's how we've gotten. That's how we've gotten most of our business, though. Like they've gone with Evan and Greg just because we've been sincere and actually cared like a little bit.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to say, hey, you know what? I don't think you need this. So I've done that with a couple of people where I just said, you could do it, but I don't think you need to. And I think they appreciate that you're not out there you're not out there trying to take their money. And that's important.
No, it's very important, and and even just taking in like the trash cans for some of the older clients. Okay, granted, like you can't do every single one, but I have this one guy. He's got a big horseshoe style driveway. He prepaid me for snow. He kind of got a deal on it because I matched the price of the guy who did it last year. This upcoming year, he's not going to get that same price, and so he had went out of the way to email me and said, "Hey, I really appreciate you taking up my trash cans," because he kind of shuffles his feet to walk around. And one thing I didn't understand about him is I'd be out there mowing, and he'd be out there pulling weeds while mowing and shuffling his feet. He's in his 80s. I just sit there and shake my head and say, "Hey, buddy, go inside."
There's actually, I'm putting it together now for my clients and just saying, hey, beginning of the season, here's some stuff you need to know, when to water and, cleaning up for, the pet cleanups. And the first thing on mine though is it says safety first. And please, no one outside while I'm trying to mow. And I said, this thing, my stuff shoots out at 200 miles an hour. And if you're out there, I don't know it, and you could get hit by a rock. I had a rock. I'm not kidding. It was, I hit a lava rock with
those
my
lava
trimmer.
rocks.
No, I hate them.
We could do a whole show on that. You want to do a whole show on that? 856-446-8873.
No.
Free for all Friday. Call or text in. Do you guys hate lava rocks? Anyways, Greg.
I found one 50 feet away next to my truck. And because I knew I hit one, couldn't figure out where it went, and it was 50 feet away, and it hit my truck, and I could hear it. And here's the thing though, is it hit my truck, and then it flew another 20 feet. That tells you how tells you how much was behind it. So, and my truck was about 30 feet away, and it went another 20 feet. So no telling how far that thing would have gone if it hadn't been slowed by the truck. So
what this
but
guy
I,
was, yeah, go on. Sorry.
I put on there safety first. Please do not come outside. I don't even know if I can pull it up here.
Yeah, try to pull up that email because
pull it up.
I'm doing one. I got to really hound people on I guess there's only a couple clients that are really slow with the payments, but that dog crap, as we talked about countless times before, but then really just be more serious about it. I think they think it's kind of a joke when I say, oh, net. I mean, we talked about Corey Paris, our listener. He had said, guys, that like a net pay of 7 days, and then you start slapping late fees on. That'll kind of wake people up, though, too, Greg, to get people, hey, Evan's not messing around. He's trying to keep that cash flow consistent. I'm not just someone's bank.
Yeah. So safety first. I made that one as the first one. When I'm mowing / trimming, I can't have anyone in the yard. Mower and trimmers can shoot stones at 200 miles an hour. I don't want anyone to get hurt. Also, if you want to approach me, make sure I see you before so I can shut down my blades or a trimmer.
Hey, Greg, do you see me?
Yeah. So I've had people come walking right up. And, I put my hand up to tell them to stop, and then they wave to me. I'm not waving at you. I'm telling you to stop. So, but it is kind of funny. I started to laugh when hey, how are you? They start waving. No, I'm telling you to stop. So one lady came right up. I got my blades going. I'm going, stop. And anyway, I've on the letter I just said safety referrals. Because that's time, love referrals, guys. And
yeah, how do you do your referrals, Greg?
I offer, if they give me a referral for a neighbor, not necessarily somebody else, because I'm trying to get route density. So I love referrals. In the letter, I love referrals. It also shows you appreciate my work. If you refer a neighbor to me who uses my lawn service for at least a month, you'll receive 1 free cut. And that's the other thing, too, is if they refer somebody, I'm going on vacation, can you cut my lawn? Then they expect a free cut out of it because you gave them 1 referral that used you for a week. And no, I'm not doing that. So if they have to use you for at least a month, you give them 1 free cut. And what the heck, that saves people a lot of money. I've given out a lot of free cuts, so it helps.
But if it helps build route density, and that's great, and that you just don't want people to take advantage of you, I might start doing some sort of referral program. And we have the prepay, but that's prepay is literally they have to pay you well before the season starts, and mine runs mid-January through mid-February. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we were talking about that one snow client that I had, Greg. She signed up for the prepay for the snow, and then she just sent me half the payment. And then 2 weeks later, I had to bother her. I said, where's the other half of my prepay for snow? She goes, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, she has been through kind of a lot. I get it, but I would rather have you be honest and upfront with me, and not have me trying to like sit there and figure out what's going on. It's like, hey, I'm not doing this half and half for prepay.
No, that defeats the purpose of prepay. That's you pay the whole thing up front. So I offered that prepay this year, and I've had, I'm trying to think, I had about 10 people wanting to take advantage of it, and I think 5 or 6 of them have paid. I'm still waiting for the other ones to have sent it. They say, oh yeah, we'll do it, and haven't received anything yet from them. So I guess
isn't the deadline for that tomorrow?
Yes, it is, because I only gave them, I wanted to make it really defined and say, okay, end of February, boom. And it only gave them 10 days. That way they didn't have to think about it. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. And after 10 days, they've already forgotten about it. So, and I'm sure somebody's going to say, well, you offered to me, mid-season, they're going to say, oh, I thought you gave me a prepaid discount. Well, you didn't prepay, so that doesn't give you the discount. So.
Or the clients that were trying to, we talked about yesterday, Greg, they were trying to add a discount on top of the discount.
Oh, yeah, that was the one client. I had already given them the discount, and then I said, yeah, I'm giving you a 10% discount. And then they paid me the rate with the discount, or let me see, it was like $100. I told them, I gave you get $100 because I gave you a discount, 10% discount. And then when they paid me, they paid me $90. Because they thought they still got a discount, so they wound up taking $20 off the whole deal. So I'm going, and that client was just a pain anyway. So I don't cut their lawn anymore. So
I had a client, Greg. He was a really nice guy, but the first time I had a consultation and a meeting with him, we talked about this like a long time ago on the podcast. It was like some people think like you're like cutting the grass. It's like the biggest deal going. Okay, I guess for some it is, but he gave me like a diagram and a picture of how he wanted the lawn cut every single week. this week I want you to go this direction, and the next week I want you to go the next direction. I thought he was going to be a pain in the butt. Oh, turned out to be like a really nice guy. Problem is he wasted a lot of time because he wanted to talk. So I'm like, this is way too much time to talk, buddy. But no, he turned out to be a good client, tips. But every week he wanted to have a client meet or just to talk. And I said, hey, buddy, I got to go.
Yeah.
Some people don't understand that they think that you're the only lawn that their lawn is the only lawn that you cut, which is crazy.
Yeah. And then, sometimes you can say, hey, look, I'm behind. Yeah, I got, I have to end early tonight, so I really got to get going. So I don't see a reason to speak every week, although I got one guy, he's in his 90, he just turned 90, and he walks outside, stands there and waits for me, and which is nice because he waits, and hands me a bottle of water, and we chat for about 5 minutes, and then he always says, well, get back to work.
Yeah, I have a client that does that kind of as well. I'll be cutting his lawn, but it was every week. He's coming out to talk about the same stuff, and I said, George, I gotta go. It's like it's fine that we like want to talk, but it's like I park in a spot where it's the other side of the street, and I drive like 15 houses down to get to him, and he wants to talk with the mower running, and sometimes you just gotta say, hey George, I got 2 minutes. What's going on?
Yeah. You still have that guy that gives you pop?
Dennis, yeah, he's a character. You know what? He pays well, but he'll just. You ever had that one client that just is just picky, just to pick at you for no reason?
I've probably had a couple of those. Yeah.
Yeah, he's I think his cleanup says like $400 to blow his leaves through the fence because his backyard's got a patch of grass, guys, a small patch of grass in the shade. And he literally makes me we push mowed it for like a long time, and I said, Dennis, I'm not push mowing this crap here anymore. And then he's like, fine, trim it. I trimmed it for years, and then last year he goes, I don't like you trimming it. And so he bought me one of those manual push mowers that we leave in his backyard, and it's a patch of grass.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, if you really want this grass to come back, we should probably only be cut once a month. It's like literally in the shade. 856-446-8873. Do you have clients that literally try to grow grass in the shade? It's like it's not going to work. Free for all Friday. That's a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah, my neighbor has a bunch of trees in his backyard. He kept trying to grow grass, and this was before I was in the industry. And we were talking about one day. He says, finally, I called a landscape guy out to see how what am I using wrong? What grass should I be using here? And the guy just looks up and he says, "See all those?" Looking at his trees. And he says, yeah. He says, you're not growing anything here. So he says, go get yourself some verbena and or whatever. Just get yourself some shady ground cover and put that in. You're done. And so he did, and it came out nice. It's just a lot of it. Was he was trying for years to grow grass. And I do have another client that under their deck, they keep putting grass seed in. And then he says, okay, shouldn't mow this area right here because I'm
it's the
trying
same
to get
story,
that
right?
seed.
Every year.
It's the same story. I'm going, man, why don't do it? The problem is it's all dirt. You got a couple of sprigs of grass coming up, and I never went in there anyway. I would slightly hit it with my trimmer, but anyway, so that's what he does. Going back to that letter, by the way, I look at referrals, pet cleanup. I talk about pet cleanup. When to water, storm cleanup, because I'll get people that they won't, after a storm comes through and they got all the sticks are blown down and then they don't clean up. I pull up and they got sticks all over their lawn.
Oh man, we could rant about that. Oh, Greg, this has been some bad storms the past couple of years. I'm going to send that email out. Like I should have sent that out already. Say, hey, if you want me to pick up your sticks from the spring, it has to be done and I'm getting paid.
Yeah, what I've basically done is said, look, if you're going to clean up before I get there, because one client said, oh, can you come back tomorrow? No, I'm on a route.
No.
I'm nowhere clear. So
Yeah,
I'm nowhere
bye.
close to your house tomorrow. So and the thing is, I called them and said, look, there's sticks all over your lawn, and it needs to be cleaned up. And I kind of waiting for him a little bit. I was doing some other stuff while I was waiting for him to call back, and finally I've just got to pick it up. And going to charge them. And about a half an hour into it, they call me up and say, "Oh no, don't do it. I'll come back and I'll do it tonight." And you can
Forcing their hand.
And I said, no, I'm already halfway through. I said, I got another half hour to go. Well, how much is this going to cost me? And I told him, I said, look, I can't wait to,
No.
and I can't come back. And if I have to come back, then I got to charge you more because I'm going out of my way. So,
And I've
Anyway,
reminded some people, hey, pick up your sticks. They don't, but I think it's going to be at least $75 to $100 an hour to pick up sticks. It'd be nice with the multi-force because I could put the mulch bucket on it and then whiz around the yard. Which
yeah, but then
that'd
you
be-
can't see when you're trying to mow.
Yeah, I mean you can mow on it, but it's just kind of awkward with the mulch force. Great investment, Greg. We've had a lot of fun with that because we both get the same amount of mulch jobs. But sticks, storm damage from sticks, any small way that you're able to, get more money, authentically from the client. Like we talked about the other day, whipping the weeds there on the cracks. That's a huge one. Because people ask me all the time, do you spray? I said, yeah, but not really. I'm not really don't licensed, and I haven't seen much stories, Greg, but I know they're out there. You can get in trouble for spraying if you don't have a license.
Yeah, you can't. You're not supposed to spray without a license. So that's important. Make sure. And I think it's anything. I mean, if you even sprayed vinegar and water out there, that weed killer concoction of vinegar, soap and water. If you spray that, I think you still have to. Technically, you're supposed to be licensed to do that. So,
Do you really?
yeah, I think if you're putting down anything, you gotta be licensed. So, and that stuff doesn't work that well. I know some, oh yeah, you put this down and it works amazing. You catch these guys doing the video and they think they're telling you a lot of great stuff and 2 weeks
Groundbreaking.
later, 2 weeks later, it's back because you didn't get the roots. So it just comes right back up again.
What about
So-
that baking soda we did to kill part of that grass, Greg? Remember when we did that mulch job for that other guy named Greg? It was
Yeah.
the mulch job. I said, hey, Greg,
Hello, this is Greg.
meet Greg, and you said, hey, you have a great name.
Yeah, the baking, yeah. The baking soda does work pretty well for a while, and then after a while, it'll eventually come back up. So I for guys don't know, I've put baking soda on my patio. I've got a paver patio, so if you put baking soda down, sweep it into all the cracks because you get a lot of grass and moss and stuff that'll pop up in between. And if you put down baking soda and then sweep it in, and then rinse it, just lightly. Don't spray it hard. Just moisten it, and then
How'd you learn about that?
I probably saw it somewhere, and I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll give it a try. That one does work pretty well, and it's a couple times a season, and so I've done that, and I did it. Let me see. The first time I did it, it was in the fall, and I thought, wow, this worked great. Nothing came back, but I did it in the spring, and over time, it gave it time to come back and grow again. And when I did it in the fall, I did it in September, so everything was starting to slow down anyway. So it was better. It was better than I thought it was, or it's not as good as I thought it was, but it still did work. So
Yeah, it worked when we told him to put it down because he was moving his. He was trying to expand the mulch bed over so it had been easier to mow for me. Some of these clients, guys, the landscape design, we can talk about this with Eric, Greg. There's some really horrible designs where you have to operate basically your mower with the discharge blocker shut the entire time. It's just kind of like a maze kind of going through things because you don't want to freshly install mulch and then discharge a whole bunch of grass on it the next week.
yeah, sometimes people just don't have. I had one guy that he went out of his way to put a bed in around his box, the electric box in his yard, and he made it look really nice and put up the tall grass in front of it and tried to block it, and then and he had a tree that was about 1.5 feet away from the spot where he was doing his work. And so now there's a spot that's about 1.5 feet between the tree and the mulch bed. And I looked at him and said, well, why didn't you just extend the mulch all the way to the tree?
Yeah.
So now I got to go through and I got to trim that spot in between because I can't get my mower in there. It's only 1.5 feet. And I said, well, you should have just brought that all the way over. And he looks at it and goes, Yeah, that would have been a good idea, wouldn't it?
It'd be like the client consultant. 856-446-8873, Greg. It's free for all Friday. We've had a good conversation. It was good to hear. I guess again from cousin Kenny, Greg, right? Wasn't it?
Hey guys, it's cousin Kenny.
He's the talker, but he's good. He's done a lot for us here with the Turf Nerds podcast. It's been really fun being here on Turfs Up Radio, Greg, and I think there's some big things coming down the line for Turfs Up in 2026. They recently hired a marketing director, Courtney Kirsch from EarthaPro. So she's it's pretty legit. Just kind of get more ducks in the order and then make a run for it, right?
Yeah, let's see what happens. We're looking forward to it and seeing what she can offer us and help with our show to help you guys, and mostly is to help you guys and let you know what's out there, what's available, what's the best way to do things. So it was a good hire, good move forward.
Yeah, half the battle with any sort of business, and it's good to learn from other types of businesses, but half the battle is this organizational skills. I mean, we can hark on this. Was it hark or harp? Yeah, hark on this every episode. Harp. You got to be organized. If you're not organized, you really won't even get out the door. Greg, I remember those mornings when I'd sharpen my blades and I'd burn about an hour to 2 hours doing that, scraping the deck. I'd sometimes put my coffee mugs on like the edge of my dump insert, and then I'd drive away, and then you just see a mug fall on the road. It's called being organized and being scattered, which doesn't work in the lawn and landscape biz because really then you're frustrated the whole entire day. And imagine if we did jobs that required more materials and stuff. I think I'd be very frustrated.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to spend at least. That's why I don't drink coffee, because if I drank it, I wouldn't have to watch have it disappear on the side of the road for me.
We talked about the amount of headsets that I've lost in the period of 16 years, Greg. About 7 headsets. Man, 3M, they've gotten a lot of headsets from me. Oh, then this is probably about 10 years ago. I had bought one of Red Max's. They're really their best commercial edger going, and that's when we had the Green Touch trimmer rack there at the time. You had to be really careful with the Green Touch trimmer rack. If you didn't lock it in the right way, I was going down the road, just going down, and then that thing dented and it bent, and I used it for parts for the next couple of years. I was so upset because I recently bought it. It's like 2 months later, it just completely just destroyed it. It's also a perk to having an enclosed trailer. Guess what? If things fall, they're not hitting the road.
Yeah. How many times have you walked into your trailer and found your trimmer hanging, hanging by a thread almost, and
Yep, I had that happen.
Just didn't clip it in quite right.
Yeah, because we actually like the Easy Track clip. I saw someone on YouTube do it. You just take vertical Easy Tracks and you space them out, and then you take these straps that clip into the Easy Track. It's horizontal. It's the easiest way to do it. We are saving so much space because we have really tight trailers, Greg. I mean, I have a 7x16 and you have a 7x14? And
yeah,
a 12 or 14. It just, looking back at it, I should have gotten an 8.5x18. I mean, it'd be nice. There's no point to outfit a bigger trailer for me right now when you have everything paid off. Okay, the multi-force plow is basically paid off. I have one more payment on it, but no point. And unless that trailer were to completely fall down, right? Just fall down on the road or just fall apart, you really don't want to get something new. And then, would you buy a new trailer? 856-446-8873, or would you buy a used one? I mean, trucks, I'd buy new used trucks, but when it comes to the mowers, Greg, we've talked about it. I'd probably finance a new one because I don't trust guys and their maintenance. Oh, it works fine, and then you get it and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, you got to be careful on that. If you're residential, if you're going to buy somebody's mower that was used in commercial, if you want to use it just for around your house, because you're only going to use it once a week, that's probably fine. You're going to probably get some good use out of it, but I would hesitate to buy somebody's used. Or like up at Weingarts, I think they have that lease program there, don't they? Where you can lease equipment, and they have to maintain those as well. So they come in and get maintained, and I think that's part of the lease program. So those are in pretty good shape. But other than that, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd buy a used piece of equipment. So.
Well, Weingarts was selling used equipment, and that's where I bought our 60-inch Exmark Turf Tracer X Series that I sold to you, and I was even talking to the general manager. He said we are kind of getting out of selling used equipment because they were having problems with it. Because I remember the first day I got it, I was mowing and one of the hydros motors was just leaking. Like it was like a seal. It's just leaking.
Okay. Yeah, and then they had to fix it for you, so I got it. Actually, the battery finally
Yep,
is.
there you go. Oh,
The battery, I think, is finally not keeping a charge on it because I had to jump it the other day because I had to pull it off my trailer because I needed my trailer for something, so I bought a jump box, and that actually worked. So rather than
Really?
try and hook it up to something and jumper cables, the jump box is really helpful.
well, Greg, I think that's all the time we got. We're gonna bump out here some Coconut Mall. Keeping Up with the Joneses is next, Greg. You got 5 seconds to impart wisdom, Greg. What do you got?
Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy yourselves.
We'll
Thanks.
see you Monday, guys, at 7 a.m. Let's get it.